Hello. What's up?
Hello.
Can you scoot in?
Hi. Yeah,
Alright, that's good. Hold on. How are you?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing good. I'm breathing air, which is nice.
Yeah,
And, um, I didn't stub my toe today, which is cool. So, yeah.
that's good.
What would you like to talk about?
I feel like I want to talk about autism and how it is seen within life, especially in how it is today than it was within like the early 2000s. As somebody who is diagnosed with high functioning autism and how it has been with me.
Hmm. So you're saying like, hold on, I have to burp.
You're good.
Excuse me. That was gonna be inappropriate if I burped really
No,
loud,
no,
so
no.
I didn't
You're
do that.
you're good. You're good.
Are you saying like, do you want to talk about like the contrast of like autism awareness from the early 2000s compared to now, or is it more
Yeah,
like how like your life has been with autism, or is it a bit of both?
I think a bit of both. Yeah.
Okay, well, take it away. What specifically about this did you want to bring up?
Um, if a lot of people don't know, my name in VRChat is Aki. On the internet, I am known as Maddie and Friends. And I am born with high functioning autism. It is one of the diagnoses of autism within the spectrum, as a lot of people call it. You can get diagnosed with high functioning, low functioning, Asperger's. There's a lot within the spectrum. And the all my life, it's been I wouldn't say hard, but I've had people tell me I couldn't do this because of autism. I've had to prove those people wrong. Um,
Well, real
a
quick,
lot
when you say you couldn't do this, what exactly does this mean?
like um people said I would not be able to graduate due to it. And I was able to prove them wrong because of it. People said I would not be able to make friends, and that I was able to prove them wrong as well because sure, it's making friends is hard in general, but it's part of life. Making friends, you're gonna have ups and downs, but that shouldn't define anybody whether they have autism or not. And people, they come to me and they're like, and they have been all my life, and like, oh, you have this and that. You must have a hard time having friends. And like, the one thing that I wanted to like, especially come up on this podcast is like, no matter whether you have autism or not, love yourself because we're all human at the end of the day. And we're beautiful because of that. We are unique because of that. We're equal because of that. And that's beautiful. It does not matter who we are, whether we do have autism, whether we come from a different race, culture, skin, and ethnic, eth, I can't the word
Ethnicity.
pronunciation. Thank you. Um, Even sexuality. It does not matter within the end of the day because that's what makes us human beings. And that's what makes us equals. And that is beautiful because we are the same. And I feel like people, whether it's online or just in human, we are forgetting that these days. And we need to remember that we are human, no matter where we come from.
I
And it's
100% agree.
yeah.
Especially we need to remember that we're human. Not only that, we need to remember that we are like just random creatures on a planet with a bunch of other random creatures, you know?
Not
Um
only that, but we're random creatures with different abilities, different talents, different goals. We're unique in our own beautiful way.
100% agree. Um how was it, trying to find this kind of mindset? Do you have like a specific moment where things like clicked, or was it kind of like a gradual understanding of the world? I guess to kind of simplify that, how do you think you have gotten better at understanding yourself, over the course of your life?
That's a very good question because one, it comes from my mom. She raised me, to love people for who they are, and I it's just one's being from my mom, and the second thing is just learning to love myself and to just appreciate who you meet and just what's around. Because the second thing being, I struggled a lot. When people come to me, I'm the most chill person you'd ever meet, but back in the day, I had anger issues, surprisingly enough. Then because I got help, I went to hospitalizations, residential for almost a year. During that time period, it really was something I needed, and it made me realize a lot of things that like I need to work on myself more, which I did, and it made me see things in a whole different perspective. And I just ever since then, like ever since me as like a teen and like a kid up to like me now as a 22-year-old adult, I have just been able to grow. I've been able to grow, and it's just it's big, because
Mm-hmm.
I've been able to love myself, and I continue to, but I've been able to have this wisdom that even to this day, a lot of adults say that, like, even as a kid, like, people say that, like, I should have, like, had it as an adult. I still have that, but it's because of, like, the stuff I've, like, gone through, but other people have gone through it too, and I've learned that as well. Like, people go through different things, and that's what makes people stronger, wiser, or heck, even braver. It makes people who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And me growing up and, maturing a bit more, and, in general, just growing up and realizing, you realize a lot of things, and that's what I've been doing, and I've just been living and just realizing so much.
What's been some of your more recent realizations?
The world is definitely different than what it used to be. It's definitely different from what I used to be as a kid. Like, I will definitely say I did not have to deal with inflation. We deal with that now. And just like you would be able to like ride your bike at night without worrying about stuff. It's just like a lot of things you'd be able to do and see, and like stuff like watching on the TV. Like, you'd be able to watch regular show and Adventure Time. That's not on the
Dude,
TV
preach.
anymore. Like, I grew up with that, and it's not on the TV anymore because these big companies want to take it away.
Dude,
and
wait,
it's
can I
like,
stop you really quick?
Of course.
What you initially said, right, was like the world is different than it used to be, back when you were a kid, which was, 15 years ago. But also, 15 years before that, it was just as different, And so
Oh yeah.
the world doesn't just stay the same, and that's kind of a hard thing to grasp. And part of what, like, that's kind of like, that's nostalgia, I guess, is kind of what you're describing,
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I guess because like our world expands too, like dangers are more apparent to us and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I totally get what you mean. But yeah, man, there was a whole other half to that I had like ready to say, and I completely forgot it. That's my ADHD for you, like what we were talking about before.
Yeah.
No, I totally get your perspective. And yeah, you do seem very chill. You do seem like a very chill person. A lot of people who are a lot more chill and kind of okay with like more things than others are because they had been through anger, like in their past, you know. Because I had anger issues when I was a kid, and yeah, and then now it's I don't know, I'm able to moderate my emotions very well, and so when I see somebody who crashes out super easily, you know, I'm like, okay, yeah. I mean, it's right there. It's right on the wall. You know, it's like, all right, this person's obviously still figuring out some crazy intense emotion that they're going through. And yeah, that shit takes time. Dude, I had somebody come into work one day. I'll just say it's a storefront.
Was it
retail? Fuck it. I was covering up front in a dispensary. I work at a cannabis company, and
Okay.
I was covering up front, and this lady walked in, you know, definitely like mid-50s, and you know, she comes in, she's like, oh, I've never been in the store before or whatever. I'm like, oh, well, great, you know, we have these deals and stuff, and you know, very dry, very just bland, you know. And then she's like, oh, do you do like medical marijuana and stuff? I'm like, oh no, this is recreational, you know, we don't do any discounts or anything like that for med. And she's like, all right, whatever. And then like shows me a picture of her ID on her phone, which legally in my state, I can't sell somebody weed unless they show me their ID physically. And all I got out to this, the only words I got out to this person was, unfortunately, and then she immediately was like, all right, whatever, turns around, stomps out. I'm like, I'm so like, sorry. And then she's like, yep. And like, she said something on her way out, like, that's what we, and then like, one of my other coworkers saw her like, so fucking pissed, you know. And, you know, I'm in my brain, you know, I'm like, well, first, my initial reaction is, that was weird. Then my second reaction is, that person definitely is not just angry at this. There is way more that person's angry about. And one of the things I started to realize in that moment was like, don't be a shitty person because of shitty things. You know, because everybody has shit. You know, people are covered in shit and they stink, and that doesn't mean that you can just throw your shit at somebody. So yeah.
And you were just doing what you were supposed to do, because if you don't provide like the legal, obviously the physical ID, then what you were doing, what you were supposed to do, you can't sell them the product. And that's not just in your state, it's in most states. So
it's in every state. Every state has to follow that. Oh, my phone is telling me to go to bed. But I won't listen. My phone is also going through an emotional pause because I'm negligent to my phone and now it's mad. That was a lame joke. Okay.
No, you're good. You're good.
Hold on. Let me throw my phone on my. Oh God, I'm moving. All right, this is falling apart. Hold on.
You're good.
Oh, see now it doesn't want to come out of my pocket. It's rebellious. All right, there we go. I swear to God, I'm not crazy. At least I don't think I am.
No, you're good. You're good. Crazy. I was crazy once. Locked me in a room. Red rats.
Crazy. I was crazy once. I was locked in a dispensary, recreational dispensary. All right, I'm not going to continue that.
Yeah.
What is something you wish people kind of knew more about, like a neurodivergency mindset to somebody who I guess is like neurotypical, or even not just neurotypical people, but like just people with anxiety who might not fully understand how their mind works? Like, what do you think are some fundamental things about being on the spectrum that somebody might not realize?
There are multiple things I could say. First thing I can definitely say is when you meet them, or before you do, don't assume. Because what a lot of people like to do online, or especially in schools, because this used to happen to me a lot in school, they would assume who I was. And then before they even got to know me, they were like, oh, look at that chick. I bet like she couldn't do this and this growing up. And then I would obviously correct them, saying like, you probably don't know that because you didn't get the chance to talk to me.
That's their projection.
Right. So the first thing I would say for sure is don't assume unless you talk to the person. That'd be the big one. But the another one I could definitely say for sure is get to know them, because whoever you meet, whatever they have on the spectrum, whether it's autism, Asperger's, ADHD, anxiety, whatever it is, they can be the most unique and beautiful person you could ever meet. You can have a great friendship right then and there, starting to blossom. You never know who you can meet. You just got to get to know them and actually get the chance to. Like, you got to give them that chance and let that blossom. Because here's the thing I've been seeing, especially when VR wise, I'm still kind of new. I used to play on a computer, but then the PC went to shit. And then I would say last year, got a headset because I wanted to play again with my friends, especially a friend that I've been friends with for 8 years. I noticed, especially with me coming back within the first month of me being on that headset, I put in my profile because I want people to know, hey, I have high functioning autism, so that people know, like in case if they don't know, because people check profiles, people don't. The second I was in that instance from that first month, people were like, oh, look, that person's got autism. Let's go bully them. Let's go make fun of their voice. Like, it's not something I can control, but I can tell them and just let them know, hey, don't assume things. Try to get to know me before you like say or do things. That's all I could do, because you can't change people, but you can at least inform them, hey, don't assume. Try to get to know who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I've been doing, and things have been going great ever since then. And it's almost been a year since I've had the headset now, and things have been going good because of me doing that.
Yeah. It comes. I think it also comes down to our deliverance too on that kind of stuff, because a lot of people, I can see lashing back out, and kind of delivering it back in that same like aggressiveness, like trying to punch them back in the face. When really it should just be a very calm, like, well, hey man, like, we're chill, like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know we were chill like that kind of vibe. Because the way we respond to people plays a big role into how they're going to respond next. So if we come at them in this defensive attack mode, then they're just going to lash right back at you. So it's important to stay calm and just be like, well, I'd like you to understand this a little bit more, because you might not know really what's going on. Yeah, no,
right.
I totally
It's
get that.
all about how we present ourselves and like how we say things. It's always about that.
100%. Dude, can I ask, where are you from? Can I ask that? Are you cool?
Yeah, I don't
cool
mind.
with that?
I am from the suburbs of Illinois. I'm from the suburbs.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha.
So.
I heard your accent and I was like, I can't tell if that's, dude, I can't tell if that's northeastern or if that's like mid.
Suburbs of Chicago. So,
Yeah, there it is. It's exactly. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Cool. I have been told by my friends though that my aunt has more of a the accent though, because they got to meet her. So,
Oh yeah. What's your life? Who are you, dude? Like, what's your life like outside of VR and stuff? What do you do?
so, um, my name, Aki, it's that because I actually am a painter. However, I've been dealing with severe art block, which hopefully will pass soon. But, also I have a TikTok, Maddie and Friends. I'm also
Oh
dealing
yeah.
with content block. I deal with content block, so I have been trying to make like VR content to kind of like post on there. Been kind of dealing with like stuff like on like like what to make, like what will work and that stuff. Gonna be hopefully making something soon, but what I do in real life, I'm actually a bagger. I just started my first day actually yesterday. It
What
turned
is
out
a what
really
is a
well.
bagger?
Basically they bag groceries, so I work in
Oh,
that
okay.
yeah, that part of retail. But my old job, I was a front desk at a yoga studio for I would estimate time range maybe like a year or two, cause for 5 years I was able to get credits for graduation and then like life skills at a place called I Can Dream. It's a place that helps special needs kids and basically people get like the skills they need in order to succeed. And I graduated from there, but I also was able to graduate from my public school as well. Um, you know, during COVID and that stuff. But I also was able to graduate from there, I would say a year ago now. And because of that, well, a old staff member from there, I was also able to get my old job because she was one of the managers from there. And that's what started my old job. And things were smooth there. I was the front desk. But then, due to changes with the business and all that, and corporate sales isn't easy. And a lot of people have been telling me that, not just my family, but a lot of people. I was the 15th of, I believe it was November or December. I was laid off with not really good explanation. I didn't get a text or a call from my old manager, which it felt like a stab to my heart because I knew her for 5 years
Yeah.
and it felt like I trusted her. So just only then being called by my mom saying that, hey, you got fired. And I'm like, what? And then just seeing like the business email just saying I got laid off with no explanation. It literally just gives no explanation when I read it to her. And it it hurt a lot. I cried because I knew a lot of the clients there. I knew a lot of the staff. Um it hurt.
Yeah.
And I had to apply for a lot of places, and the number it was a lot, like 20 plus places. But then I applied for the grocery store, Jewel. I applied for Jewelesco, and that finally after like after a month because they get busy after the holidays and that stuff, I got a call from them and they said that they would do an interview with me, and I did the interview, and yesterday I got a job. So it's exciting because it's new within retail, but it's also going to be just a new experience for me too because new people, new skills, and all that. But um but also like it means a new chance too. But other than that, like for me as well, I do live with my mom. She has never forced me out of the house, which I'm grateful for that. Um, and I help with the chores. I help with rent, and we coexist. We obviously coexist, but I love my mom and she loves me. And it's been working very well, and very soon I'm when things settle down, once I like settle in with my job, I'm gonna like start um studying for my driver's license because um I want to try in a car, but with I want to like settle into the job, have a bit more money in my account, that stuff.
Hmm.
And you know, um just I've been hanging with my friends who are from VR chat, but in May, or I think it's May or April, one of the dates. I have to look on the calendar. One of those days or months, it'll actually be our 1 year anniversary of that group specifically. So
Nice.
yeah, and it's great because, like I said too, depending on who you meet, you can make great connections and great friendships. It's all about who you meet on this platform. Because no, yeah, I've I've been living, I've been vibing, and I've been doing good because you know, and just being me, being
Yeah,
myself.
dude. Kick ass.
Thank you.
Aki, you seem like a very sweet person. You seem like a very
You do
sweet
too.
person.
And you seem
This
very chill.
it sucks that you got let go from what was it? Was it a yoga place? What was that job that you got
Yes.
let go at? It was a yoga
It
place.
was, yeah, it was a yoga place.
Um, and it seems like it was a big company. It seems like there were like, was it like a chain thing? Because you said corporate sent you like an email saying you were getting fired.
It
Was it a
That's the
small
thing.
business or was it a large
It was a
business?
s- it was medium because when I say like corporate, like new management, like a new owner took over. So
Oh, okay.
yeah. So
Yeah,
then I got an email
dude.
from like yeah.
And you had this big connection with your manager. It seems, you know,
Who
and
was
that
my old
sucks.
teacher of 5 years?
Yeah. Um, I wouldn't have any resentment over your manager. Sounds like they were out of the picture. You know, it sounds like they didn't even get a chance to say anything because it happened. It sounds like something because of new management. It sounds like something that happened so fast that, you know, that manager that you worked with all the time, like, just didn't even get a chance to say anything, you know.
No, yeah.
So I wouldn't, I wouldn't, you know, have any assumptions that your manager had anything to do with it. You know, I would go see them and say hi, you know, and say what's up. Cause yeah, there's no way. To me, like, just as my outside observer, only hearing the 70 words you just said about it, like, I I just don't think that they had any say, you know. So don't beat yourself up, cause you had no control, you know, and you're young, you're 22, like, you have fucking years ahead of you to like plan and figure out what you're doing. So, you know,
No, yeah.
and that,
I plan to take my time.
yeah, dude, hell yeah. Aki, you are very chill. You are nice. You're a
Thank
nice
you.
fella. It's very nice talking to you.
Thank you. You too.
If you have art block too, if you want, you can draw the space guy anytime. That'd be rad.
I just might. I just
That'd be
might.
cool. Another thing too, really quick, with like art block or just trying to figure out what you want to do. The second you have a thought, fucking write it down. The second. I have a Discord server that I am in, only me, and it's all notes for like the podcast and stuff, and like what to clip, when to clip, context, titles, clips, the list of guests that have yet to come on, like special or like a like co-host or whatever, like everything, anything I can think of, it all gets like written down so then I can think about it later and it doesn't fleet my brain, you know. So yeah, dear God,
Yeah.
like, write stuff down, because that goes a long way. But yeah,
Yeah.
Aki, do you have any final words you'd like to say to anybody listening to this before we wrap up our discussion?
um, be yourself. Do not let anybody change you. And just if you are sitting next to somebody, say hello. How are you? it might make somebody's day, and you never know. Kindness goes a very long way. It does. And just be yourself. You are you for a reason.
Dude, preach. Thank you, Aki. Thank you for coming up and talking to a random guy on the internet.
I mean, that's what this is for.
That's true. You may sit back down.
Thank you.
Thank you. Give it up for Aki, everybody. Give it up.
Thank you.
We love that. What was that?
Hi.
Hi. Hi, guys.
Jake, if we ever do want to like do stuff like chill and hang out, I did send you a friend request.
Dude, I got you.
You do seem chill. So.
You probably don't want to hang out with me. I drink and burp really loud and
You kidding? I do that too.
Oh, okay, rad. Alright, if you vibe at Spin the Wheel and Drinking Night around like 70 people, then that's usually where I'm at. Who wants to come up next? You! Prismarine, how are you? How is existing?
Pretty good, thanks for asking. Pretty good.
What would you like to talk about?
I guess I'll talk about, well, the one thing that most people notice about me, which is my voice. A lot of people, when they hear my voice, they think it's weird, they think it's different, and they make a lot of varying comments about it. And the reason my voice is like this is I have a condition called vocal cord paralysis. So, in my case, one side of my vocal cords is paralyzed. It just doesn't move. And the other side works normally. Which means my voice sounds... Yeah. And I was born with this condition.
I've heard people with the vocal cord paralysis before. Like, I've had people come and go in past jobs that I've had. And yeah, it's a lot like how you sound too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what specifically about this, like, did you want to, like, bring up? You know, where did you want to go with this?
I really want to bring up the fact that, especially in online spaces, I've noticed a lot of bullying and harassment in my recent streams. I've gotten comments, even in my Discord server, of people thinking I'm like faking my condition or scamming people somehow or forcing my voice when I'm not. And that's not appropriate to tell a disabled person that they're faking their condition. That's called ableism, by the way. And it's just really sad to see people like me, because I've met a few other people in VR chat that have this similar condition, and the way that we're treated is very inappropriate compared to like
it's disrespectful. People. I know exactly. I do know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, that does suck. And yeah, it's definitely not fair.
Yeah.
I feel like you can. I feel like, and maybe it's just me. I feel like my bullshit detector is pretty like accurate. Like I can tell when somebody's fucking bullshitting with me, you know. And what sucks, and I think the biggest reason why I think people have that ableism is because there are people who fake conditions and want to. I'm sure there are people out there who say they have a vocal cord paralysis, but they're really just trying to do some hazy voice to stand out and be different. And so, and that's just an example, but it's stuff like that then is projected out to the fucking universe. And so it just gives people this direct assumption that everything like what you're saying.
Like making assumptions, like that's one of the biggest things I deal with both IRL and on VR chat. Like IRL, I mostly get comments at work from older people where they assume that I'm sick. So I get comments like, you sound horrible, you sound like you should be in bed, or like, they have you working the register today, like things like that. And like, the worst part is I know they're not trying to be malicious. They're doing it out of pity, but the pity feels worse because I don't want to be pitied. This is just the way my voice is. I can't control it. I can't help it. It's the way I sound. But then on VR chat, it's more bullying.
I think it's a lot easier for people to just fucking say whatever they want. Well, obviously, you know. So yeah, you get all the people who just are gonna blurt out all the immediate thoughts that they have. No, you're fine. I'm trying to think of like what's the best way you can explain this to someone, you know, so that they have that sense of awareness. And then I guess the other thing too is like, how do you bring more awareness to this? Besides, I mean,
obviously I have it in my bio for one, and then like, if I do get questions about my voice, I do answer questions. If you're polite about it and you like ask me, hey, why does your voice sound like that? I'm more than happy to answer questions. It's just the people that automatically blurt out the first assumption that comes to mind that pisses me off.
Right.
And one of the biggest assumptions I get on VR chat is people think I'm a kid because of the way my voice sounds. Newsflash, I'm 35. I know, an old person on VR chat, the horror. But a lot of people...
There's a lot of 35-year-olds in VR chat. You're not that old. 35 is not that old to me.
Try telling that to people on VR because they find out I'm in
you still got youth in you, you know.
It's like they find out you're in your 30s and they're like, ew, get a job. Why are you on VR? Go touch grass. Like, bitch, a job is how I afford my headset and my PC.
Right.
I don't need daddy's credit card to buy myself shit. Unlike you people, clearly.
Right.
But...
yeah, dude.
It's like people...
That shit's fucking lame. Like, that kind of mentality... That shit's so lame. Like there has to, and it sucks because it's like, yeah, like this. I guess what I'm stuttering and trying to get out right now is, you're always, and this is the unfortunate truth or the reality. I think is like this will always happen out of ignorance of people, whether they mean it or not. Especially old people who, you know, they have that kind of mentality where like they hear a certain thing and because of their perspective that is what it is to them. There is no like chance to have a different perception, you know. And it's not just old people that are like that. It's a bunch of, there's so many people who have that kind of mentality. And oh fuck, where was I going with this? I forget. There has to, I think, accepting that you will always kind of run into this, so that you know you and I'm sure you already have it. Like you have natural responses to these things, right?
Yeah.
But it's now it's
my first response. Oh, sorry, I don't mean to.
Actually, no. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm yapping.
You're fine.
You're fine. Like, the first response I usually give is like, this is my natural voice, or this is the way my voice is. And if they keep pressing me about it, which usually happens on VR, let's face it, I'll usually try to explain that I have a condition. But sometimes, even when I try to explain, people on VR just don't care. They'll just keep harassing and keep making comments. Like, they don't care.
Yeah.
And I've noticed this a lot in age-gated instances. Like, I go to an age-gated 18+ instance. Like, I go to, say, a Just Be club, and I go up to the person who's manning the security, and you know how it is VR chat, they say age and date of birth. I give them my age, my date of birth. I remember going to a Just Be club recently, and the guy running the security, when I gave my age and date of birth, was like, "Oh my god, you're a child, what the fuck? That's a child." And I'm like, dude, I have a condition that makes my voice sound this way, I'm disabled. And I'm like, and then he like tried to backpedal when he realized, and it's just like, bruh.
When you say backpedal, what do you mean exactly?
It's like he tried to apologize.
Oh, okay.
I see this a lot. It's like when
at least there was that.
Oh, they
you know?
Up. Yeah. A lot of the times when people make an assumption and I correct them, because they don't care to listen or they just don't understand, and I correct them either politely or firmly, depending on how they're coming at me. When they realize, oh, she's disabled, they backpedal, they try to apologize, and it's like, if you had taken 2 seconds to click on me and read my bio, you would have seen very clearly I have in my bio that I have this condition. But people don't really read bios on VR chat. They just make assumptions.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, it's not a habit to read bios. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about this kind of stuff, you know, like the like why our behavior online is so much more loose than in person, you know, or even just, I guess, stuff like this. I think it comes down to the lack of patience, you know. I think we're very this is like our this is our decompression, right? So we're just in our own space, you know, we're not really thinking. And that's another thing, like with VR chat, in terms of like people not listening. You know, there's just so many people that are immediately, instantaneously blurting out stuff instead of people like really processing, you know, the situations around them. And that makes sense, you know. I'm not gonna give anyone shit for that. Honestly, dude, like, I would say immediately, like as soon as somebody's like, well, why do you sound like that, right? Because at first you're like, oh, this is my condition, you know, I just sound like this is just my natural voice. To like, as somebody who would have an ignorance to that, to me that's like very vague, like there's not a lot of detail. So then it leaves room for me to then fill in gaps because of that. I would immediately say, oh, I have, you know, vocal cord paralysis. So I would immediately explain it. Half of my, you know, vocal cords are paralyzed. And I think that that just fills in the answer right there. That is the totality of what they're curious about. So like that, I think that should just be your immediate default phone book response, because when you leave it vague, your chances of people having absurd reactions is way greater. You know, it's kind of like a checklist, like go through the different things, you know. And so if they do react big, oh sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from with that, but on the other side of the coin, it gets so exhausting having to constantly explain why my voice is the way it is. Especially online or when I'm streaming, and I keep getting the same questions over and over. So it often becomes easier to just give a default, this is my natural voice, this is just the way it is. Because I constantly get people asking about my voice, especially as a streamer. Like my VR chat streams, I will get comments of people saying, what's with the voice? Why do you sound like that? And it's like, read the text up at the top of my screen.
True, and that's all you have to say. That is all you have to say there, yeah, because you have the definitive answer. And it does suck, because it can get annoying. And obviously, like, this is how I understand that, is like, I get so many people asking about the podcast wherever I go, because they see it, you know, or they ask me if my avatar is a custom avatar or whatever, all these different responses. And as much as I, especially in the past, have been like, well, it's so tiring answering all this, it comes down to a couple different things. It's either I don't explain it and it's easier for me to just, have like a quick response, or I explain it in its thoroughness and I have a more pleasant time with the person that is responding to it. Like, your experience is a little better if you and it sucks, and I'm not trying to be a dick. Like, if you can just accept that, like, that you have to kind of give that definition every time, because if you don't, it's just gonna keep happening. I would give it a shot. Because it does suck. I think the more you do it, the better you get used to it, and you can refine it. And after a while, it will just seem quick and instinctive. Because at first I definitely was like, wow, like trying to explain the podcast is a lot, and now I just give out like the basic idea of what it is in as thorough of a description I can without yapping somebody's ear off, and they kind of just leave me alone after, because I gave them the answer that they wanted, And then if they don't, it's kind of on them, especially for your situation, because it tells you that they're not willing to listen. And so putting that emotional effort into wanting them to understand is just hindering you from enjoying VR chat, or living your life wherever you're living it. And it's on them. It's not on you to try to get them to understand. It's on them to understand. And if they don't, it tells you everything you need to know. I feel like I say that a lot. It tells you everything you need to know.
I totally get that. Yeah, because it's like, it's one thing if it's like someone younger on VR chat that's like haranguing me about my voice, because like teenagers will be teenagers on VR. It's another thing when it's a grown adult saying that shit about my voice, because I get that shit from other adults on VR chat. And it's like, you are old enough to know better. You are more than old enough to know not to say things like that to another person. But you're doing it anyway. Why?
Because they don't. Because they really don't know. That's the sad truth. They truly don't. That's a part of their childhood that they missed. It's like, or I guess, especially for people who were chronically online growing up. You learned manners in person, but online you can say whatever you want, not give a fuck. But you still have to have manners in VR chat to, not rile up people, I guess, or to have a more chill time. So I think that is very much overlooked. There's a lot of emotional maturity that is overlooked when people are in VR. And some people just fucking like shoot the shit. Some people are here to fuck with you, and they really just don't care and they want to get a rise out of you, which is a whole different can of worms, and I've covered that so many times. But yeah, if incompetent people really don't want to understand this, Prismarine, do not put any emotional effort into it. Just block them, mute them, do what you have to do. Because it's never, dude. Yeah, I do too, and it's that this kind of stuff is never gonna go away. And then, dude, the most important thing, like I really hope you do this, is the second they have that question, to give that response of, oh, I have a vocal cord paralysis, half of my throat's paralyzed, and it sucks explaining that every time, but I have good hopes that I'm pretty confident that if you were to do that, I think you would have more. It would be more often than not that people would start to understand you a little bit better. That's my theory.
Yeah.
So I would find some acceptance in having to say that every time, because it's not going to go away. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah. Is this
like I totally get that. I just wish that people on VR I just wish that people on VR chat were more respectful. Because it's like, it's not hard to respect other people, be it IRL or online. Treat others the way you want to be treated, right? But
Yeah, golden rule.
I've noticed on VR chat, people don't give a shit. There are so many bullies on VR chat, especially towards disabled people. Like, I don't know if that's a trend lately on VR. I don't know if that's like, it's probably always been a thing online, but it's like, I constantly see people with disabilities being the brunt of a joke online, especially like if they're autistic, because I'm also autistic, or anything seen as different becomes a joke to people online, and I really wish that wasn't the case.
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah, anything seen as different is what's weird. Yeah, if it's out of the norm, yeah, it gets. I mean, everything is a stereotype. Yeah, I think people are very quick to their immediate responses. So yeah, just like my response, drinking Coors Light every 30 seconds. Okay, that sucked. That was a lame joke. That was not the right time to do that. That's my apologies.
You're fine. You're fine.
Prismarine, I wish the best for you. Yeah, there needs to be is there like a group for this kind of stuff? You know, is there some place either in VR chat or like, you know, for any, I guess, like for like this kind of awareness that people could like go to and try to understand a little bit?
Question. I've never seen any groups dedicated to vocal cord paralysis. I'll have to look, honestly, because I've only met like maybe 2 other people on VR chat with the same condition. It's not very common.
Yeah, dude. I mean, bring more awareness to it. Bring more awareness to ableism and how it fucks with people, especially in VR chat, dude.
I made a video about that recently. One of my recent videos.
Keep doing it, dude. Keep doing it. Keep doing it, and then I'll repost it and, you know, force people on their phones to watch it. I'll hold their fucking face to their TikTok, screen.
One of the recent videos on my TikTok, I actually talked about. It's mostly about like the ableism regarding like my voice and all that, and the comments I've been getting, and how it's so frustrating. And it's like I felt like I needed to make a video and just like kind of vent about it.
Keep doing it. Keep making videos about it. You know, scream it out to the world, because it starts with that. You know, turning people's heads. You know, so yeah. One little peak of a viewpoint at a time, you know. And I'm going to sound like a broken record again. This is why I do this podcast, is to bring a sense of realism to VR chat. You know, because mainstream media doesn't do that. And I've said that a countless amount of times, you know. But it, like, there's just this void of, like, human connection that people don't really understand when they think of VR chat. And this is not to replace reality, you know, it's simply to provide, you know, specifically that social connection. But you should still be going and, you know, being with friends and family in person, and going in parks and sniffing flowers and petting dogs and stuff that are not furries, and you know, that all that fun stuff. So, you know, use this space as a way to connect with real people, because every person you see here is a real person with their own lives. And, you know, I think everybody, I guess to circle back to what we were talking about, everybody has to explain their shit. Everybody, you know. And some people are better at it than others. Some people don't explain themselves at all, and then they act like shitty people. So it's rad that, I think it's super cool that you are willing to explain people, or explain to people, you know, your condition, because you could just not give a fuck at all, and you know, people like that can be just as much part of the problem, even if they are, I guess, that like getting the you know, the, what's the word, if they end up being the butt of the joke, they can still be part of the problem. So, you know, it's all about how we respond to it, kind of like what we were saying on Aki's talk. But yeah, man,
exactly, yeah.
start a group, you know, scream it out to the world, man, because that's all you can do, you know. Prismarine.
It's like, it's funny.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
It's like, it's funny, like, ever since I've started streaming, I've also gotten a lot of compliments about my voice, which always surprises me, because I'm so used to the bullying and
True, it is kind of nice. I do like it.
So hearing people say that they like my voice, they find it relaxing or soothing to listen to, is like, wow, that's kind of cool.
Well,
So
it's because your
that
cadence
kinda keeps
is
me going with the streaming.
your cadence is very like soft, like that wispiness is nice. I think it's I can imagine it is like pleasing to somebody because it's like a soft, kind of windy sound. So it's nice.
I guess. Thank you. Yeah. But it's like, it's crazy. Like, when I first started streaming back in November of last year, I had like maybe 100 or so followers, and within like 2 months, I've gone to over 2,000, and it's
Dude, hell yeah.
crazy.
Hell
And
yeah,
it's
man.
like, I never realized that many people enjoyed hearing me yap on VR chat, but
Dude, if I were you, I'd be focusing all of your content into this kind of awareness. You know, I think that's the way to go. But you are free to do whatever you want. I'm a random person on the internet, so yeah.
well, you're a very cool random person. I think you're very chill.
Thanks, man. I think you're chill too. Prismarine, do you have any final words you'd want to say to anybody listening to this before we wrap up our discussion?
I guess final words would be to try not to make assumptions about people. When you first meet them, try to genuinely listen to them and understand that some people sound different, look different, aren't the typical thing you might run into. And it's not hard to be nice. It's like the old phrase still applies. If you can't say something nice, don't say anything.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And when it comes to interacting with people and making friends with people, especially on VR chat, I guess I'll quote something from my dad, which is quality, not quantity. Which basically means find the people who are like the quality people to give your time and energy to. Don't just give everything to like the first people you meet. Really take your time to get to know people.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Prismarine, thank you so much for coming up and talking to a random guy. Oh, I'm spinning.
It was fun.
Absolutely. Give it up for Prismarine, everybody. Zombie, you made me a gift? Oh, cheers. I got a beer in my hand right now.
I am drinking. Where's my Arizona tea?
I feel so sick, man.
I need to get one.
No, get water.
Oh, sure. Are you gonna throw it on the wall? Yeah, dude! Oh, that's sick. I love it. It's Gooner bait. Dude, Gooner bait. That's awesome. Dude.
Oh my god.
You guys know those you guys know those you guys know those ads where it's like, oh, like we're gonna generate what your future soulmate's gonna look like or whatever, right? For me, I guess it would look like that.
Yo. Someone make an avatar for that. Like, oh my god.
Dude, hell
There's a
yeah.
space baddie out there for you somewhere.
Dude, hell yeah. Dude, that's rad.
Heck yeah.
I probably can't keep that up because then Twitch or VR chat's gonna be like,
No, yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
it's too hot. You gotta
Twitch.
put that away.
Hey, that's too
Twitch will probably
smoking.
like that.
Dude, Zombie, that's fucking awesome. Thank you.
That's awesome.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good. How's life?
Oh,
How's
just
existing?
dealing with the mother that doesn't support me.
Dealing with a mother that doesn't support you.
Yeah, well, the thing is, because I was for the past 5 years, I've been in the LGBTQ spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm pansexual and non-binary, go by she, her, they, them, but my mom still calls me a he, him, and that kind of ticks me off. She only sees me as her son, and she doesn't understand that I like to be, because in here I'm actually feel like I'm accepted, but the problem is recently I actually got called, apparently LGBTQ people are apparently accused of pedoism.
Of pedoism?
Yeah, because apparently
what
we
is-
like
what
to
is- what
molest
is-
children or something.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know
And
where
is that
speculates from.
does that come? Is that something like your mother said?
Yeah, no, she just kind of shrugged it off. I had a whole argument with her on my way to work once where I was like, I'm they, that, I'm
What
non-binary,
is
and then she...
what is her like perspective of it all? Like, what does she say to you?
Well, the thing is, she does not understand it. Like, she thinks that trans people are just guys who dress up as girls, and trans girls are basically girls that dress up as guys, which I don't... That's not how that works.
Right.
Yeah, it's like... And
And
the bad part is...
oh no,
like,
go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, because like the bad part is I'm also wanted to bring up like, because it's been on my mind. Like, I'm also in the furry fandom, but the problem is I have so much hate with that I actually, because people hate me for being a furry. They've told me to go kill yourself. You should just not exist on this earth. All that, and it kind of pisses me off.
What does like what does like some of your other family members say? Are they in the picture at all?
Well, I lost my dad to a third heart attack like 3 years
man.
ago.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And then I don't like talk about it, but I also have my 2 sisters, and then I have my 3 brothers, but we all got distant after my dad died, and I have a sister who's really struggling with life right now.
Gotcha. So they're dealing with their own thing. Oh yeah. Sorry, I should have mentioned that. Yeah, turn on earmuff mode.
Yeah, okay.
So would you say it's just you?
Like,
It's just you and your mom, pretty much right now.
yeah, but she kind of hogs my ass.
How old are you?
I'm 23.
23.
Yep.
What are you doing in terms of like work and stuff? You know, are you in school? Are you?
I work for I actually work for a church. I work for a warehouse. Makes pretty good money, like around over $500 every other Friday.
Did you say you work for Did you say you work for a warehouse church?
I work for the LDS. I work for the LDS church. Yes.
What is the LDS church?
The Latter-day Saints.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. I do warehouse work.
Does it pay well?
Yeah.
Do you make decent money?
Consider over $500. If you consider over $500 every 2 weeks to be enough.
That's what, $1,000 a month? Nah.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's not nothing, but
Yeah.
you wouldn't
Help
be
pay
able
for
to.
this VR headset, of course.
My
Yeah.
take on all this, you know, is you've tried. It seems like you've tried again and again, to get your mom to see your point of view and to accept you,
Yeah.
you know?
Yes.
And regardless of the kind of person they are in our lives, if they cannot accept you, then
Yeah.
after a certain point, you know, you've tried your best, and it's on them to come to terms with that.
Yeah.
You know, I think
Mm.
your next kind of steps would be, you know, figuring out it's tough, you know, nothing is fucking easy ever.
Yeah.
But you know, I'd start considering going and moving into your own place, you know, and
Yeah.
you know, figuring out maybe a better paying job, you know, and start trying to see what you can do to maybe move out. Or even, you know, if you have like a good, healthy friend that you know very well, whether it's in VR chat or like in person or whatever, maybe see if one of your buddies needs a roommate, you know, and go and just get out, man, you know. Like, go and I'm sorry, when I say man, that's like my unit. I say that for everyone.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Okay, cool. Like, just go and, like, I mean, you're 23. Like, go and try to get out and, you know, go and try and experience something. Because when you're to stay in this environment, like, it's not really gonna change. Because nobody's gonna change. Like, nobody's, like, wanting to change to accept you. But, like, yeah, man, I mean, like, I'd start thinking about what you can do to maybe go and, you know, get into a new chapter in your life. Do you think you have any friends that you might be able to, like, move into? Like, into their place?
I do have a very good person I know well here on VRChat that would actually more than willing to take me, but they live clean in Illinois.
They live in Cleveland?
Like, Illinois, basically. They they actually would take me in.
Where are you?
If possible.
Where do you live, if that's all right asking?
I'm in Utah.
In Utah. Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah.
Okay. The setting helps with the picture here.
Yeah.
I know they're in Cleveland, but I've been to Cleveland, actually. It's actually pretty cool. It's kind of fun. You know, you got the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame there. You got one of the lakes, I think, one of the Great Lakes. There's water. You know, water's pretty cool to look at. There are bars and little events and stuff. I would, you know, I'd go check it out. I would hit him up and just be like, hey, like, do you think I can, you know, move in with you? I'm trying to get out of this situation. Like, do you think, like, I could rent out a room, like, that you have or something? And as long as you hold your end of the deal, you know, don't take it for advantage. You know, like, really try your best to, like, work through this and, like, get yourself settled and into a better environment. I think that's the next step for you, is get yourself in a better environment. Because sitting where you are, that's not going to change, especially in Utah.
Sorry for talking over you, but
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
What did you want to say?
It's also kind of hard for me to do things financially in like in life, because I have high functioning autism and I also have ADHD, so it kind of makes me go all places where I'd be like fidgeting with random things. Okay. And it kind of screws up everything else, because that's how I lost my last job.
Yeah, I mean,
my first job, I worked for a custodial at a school for 3 years. It was all fine until I got my new boss, which she was a fucking bitch, because she actually was pushing me and gave me less work, and she stressed me so much that I did a bad job, and I got late and I got let go literally on the first week that I came back during the coldest time of the year.
I will say this.
And I am,
you know, because all these perspectives of our past, it turns into the what if of the future, and it creates this uncertainty, and it immediately diminishes any kind of feeling of like opportunity of like, oh well, it wouldn't work because this is gonna happen, you know, and that just fucking breaks it. It stops you from like trying, you know. And yeah, man, like I got my own stuff that I got my own flaws and fidgets and stuff. I get called Jake the Destroyer at work because I'll accidentally fidget with shit and like break it, and I'm like talking to somebody and I don't realize that I just like snapped a pair of like chicamasos, which are already very loose scissors, and I like kind of broke them in half, and just from like fidgeting and talking. So like, you know, I think, you know, you gotta just try. All you can do is try, because you could still have these problems. Like, let's say you do go to Cleveland and you know, start a job and so says this and this happens and then you get fired and stuff, but at least you're going back to a situation where you are way more accepted and cool and you can figure things out better, you know. Like at least you are not just sitting in the soup of sadness, or the soup of you know, ignorance. I don't know. You know, dude, I really think you should figure that. I really think you should get out of there. Cause
I'm trying.
we can come up with every reason to be like, this won't work, and we're just gonna it's just gonna stall. But eventually, there's gonna be a point where like, yeah, you're gonna get out of there. So you're 23. I would just try. I would try, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of hard.
It's not supposed
to have problems.
It's not supposed to be easy. Of course it's going to be hard.
I know, but I am known to be a very kind person. I'm actually very sweet-hearted.
I can tell.
Yeah, I am very kind and loving to people. But the bad thing is, people look at my bad side and they don't see the good in me. And the bad part, and the thing is, I'm always showing my good side to people because I want to make friends.
Well, of course, yeah. I mean, we want to like show our best self. But yeah, I mean, like, I is where you're going with this. Are you saying like, are your worries implying that like you're gonna go into this place
I've been a social outcast.
Like, are you implying that like if you were to go to this, like if you were to move to Cleveland with this person, are you worried about your bad side coming out like with this person that you want to move in with?
And not in particular. I mean, we're on really good terms. They've seen this good in me, but the bad part is, throughout my life, growing up, I've actually gotten abused by my parents.
Yeah,
Multiple times. I've also
my
mom also threatened me with jail twice.
Yeah, man, that sucks.
Yeah, I've actually no one interacted with me throughout my years of school, so I've actually just sat in a corner by myself, just doodling on my color book.
So, I feel like I'm gonna sound mean here, and I don't mean to be. I'm just. This is gonna be a very brutally honest question. Ready? And I don't wanna. I'm not saying this out of any ill will or anything, right? But when you bring these up, what do you think makes you bring these up? Like, why do you feel like you have to share this?
I don't know. It's just that my voice has been silenced for so long that I was hoping that someone could actually listen to what I have to say.
Of course.
Because I'm bringing up my whole life story of growing up, technically.
That's okay. I just didn't know if, like, you know... Oh, I'm lagging. I just didn't know if there was, like, a certain kind of premise of context for this based off of, like,
Nah, it's just my whole base story, so you know what my background is of growing up.
Mhm. I would be,
abusive mother, abusive father.
I think,
never supports.
I think you have a lot of very dark pasts that are directing your viewpoint of what's ahead. And as an outside observer here, all I see is nothing but like a light for you. You know, the problem is like, you know, when we bring up our trauma, especially here in the present moment, it just kills any kind of joy or hope that we have for the future, right? The past comes into the present and it kills our joy. And, you know, and that really sucks. I'm really sorry you've gone through that, because that's not fair, you know?
And I've always learned to move forward.
Exactly. So if you're gonna move forward, dude, please, dear God, go to Cleveland, man. Please, dear God, go to Cleveland.
I'm actually gonna try to save up money for that.
Do it. Cause like, let the past be the past. Just let it be. You've learned from it. You've obviously acknowledged it and know what was bad. And all you have is such a bright future to like get out. But it starts with you. It starts with you wanting to leave. It starts with you wanting to kind of get out and get into that more positive mindset, you know. And we can bring up like, oh, well, this and this and this is gonna happen, but you know, you don't know unless you do it. And either way, you're like, and everybody has to do this. You're gonna have to figure it out, and that's okay. So, yeah.
I do have like one question for you. What's your thoughts on the furry fandom?
I see the furry fandom as a lot like any other community of people, where there are a lot of goods and a lot of bads. And you know, I think you know, it's a lot like VR chat in the sense of, there's a lot of really cool things that happen, you know, and there are a lot of really unfortunate things that happen. So, I don't know. I have a lot of friends that are furries, you know, and it's just a way. It's just a way to express you, you know. I'm not gonna, you know. I've dipped my toe in there too, and I like to say I'm a furry on a full moon. So like sometimes I'll like have like some furry avatar or whatever, but like, I'm gonna just have it be my own thing, you know. Like I guess persona is just my own thing. I'm gonna separate that from the rest of the fandom, because that's not why I would want to have a persona character thing. I have it for me because I like it. So I don't know. The furry fandom is a very complex subculture of good and bad, I guess. I guess to truly answer your question.
But the thing is, there's a difference between a furry and a non-furry, because like a furry, well, it's kind of hard to explain, because it's actually a very complicated and very sensitive topic to some.
What exactly do you mean in terms of like furry and non-furry?
Well, the thing is, there's like a furry, like, well, anyone can join it, but I get asked why I became a furry a lot, and the reason why I did is because that's actually where I feel like that's actually like my type of people. And then I've met tons of furries on here, and they're actually pretty nice, but I've met toxic ones who treat me like a piece of garbage.
It's because at the end of the day, we are all still people. You know, it's like any other community of people. Just because they're furries, it doesn't mean that furry culture is going to have all good, positive things. Like, we're all still people, and we have conflicts. You know, that's not going to go away, you know? So, it's so easy to stereotype because of that. So, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, my memory is very vague because I'm slowly losing my memory.
Oh, wait, you like that?
I kind of remember, like, I actually had a near-death experience once when I was, like, 8.
Oh, dang. You're dropping all the lore. You're
so
dropping all of the lore. I'm all for it.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I'm in this, like, a very secluded neighborhood. It's, like, very small. Like, because, like, I've actually had it a couple times, because I'm actually known to be, I get called Butterfingers at work because I'm always dropping stuff.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, and
it's like me getting
how
called
it
Jake the
happened was-
Destroyer.
But the thing is, I was riding my scooter at the age of 8 with friends, and then I hit a rock, and then I went out of control. And then I actually flew through the air for a good 2 seconds, and I actually fell head first. And I couldn't move for a good 30 seconds on the ground.
Oh, dang. You get,
my
like,
life
stunned,
flashed before my
like, knocked
eyes.
out?
Yeah, I got knocked out, but I was actually in so much pain that I actually was limping home.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, I kind of keep a rock in my scooter handlebars to remind me of how I almost died a couple times.
Yeah, man. That's rough. That's intense.
Yeah, that's the story I wanted to share about my near-death experience.
I also want to say this too. Going back to like you know, like if you were to truly like move to Cleveland and stuff, because obviously Utah, like you're in a secluded neighborhood, you know, it's gonna be an environmental shift. It's gonna be a culture shift. There's gonna be a culture shock, and it's going to feel anxious, and it's probably going to feel intense and, you know, stressful, because you're in a new place trying to get used to a new like living situation. And I can totally understand how that might be extremely stressful, and it'll break you down. Like, I'm sure I can totally understand how that can cause a breakdown. But give yourself 3 months of being there at least.
Okay.
You know, give yourself a good amount of time to just get used to it. You know, get out of your comfort zone, because it will be stressful. It will be intense. You know. But, you know, it'd be good to just keep reminding yourself that this situation's way better than the situation I'm in right now. And, you know, just give yourself time to feel that stress and try to let yourself calm down over, you know, the weeks. And, you know, and I would talk to your friend too, you know, and just get to know what they expect from you, you know, and, you know, see what that like what their rent's gonna be, and you know, stuff like that, you know. But ultimately, like, give yourself time to adjust, because it will be scary, and that is okay. It's okay to be scared in a new place. So yeah, I just wanted to say that before I forgot.
Trying to think of something else to say, but I can't really think of anything. I've
That's
never
okay.
done one of these podcasts before. This is my first time.
That's okay. It's my first time telling somebody to move to Cleveland.
I kind of have stage fright.
That's okay.
Because I used to perform for band and orchestra back in elementary school, and I played the trombone, and I actually just pretended everyone wasn't there, and then I played.
No one is actually here, so that is true.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, we can start wrapping up.
Alright.
Dude, dude, please talk to your friend and get out of this.
I will.
And get back to me. Get back to me, as time goes on, and like with updates and stuff, If you do end up moving to Cleveland and you're there, and or just if you've moved out or whatever, like come back and give us an update.
Right.
That'd be pretty rad. Do you do you have any final words you'd want to say to anybody listening to this before we wrap up our discussion?
Yes. If
Go
you
ahead.
learn to love yourself, you'll learn to love others, because the most important thing is actually loving yourself and putting actually, because if you start loving yourself, then you'll go a long way and reduce that negativity, because self-love is actually the key to a brighter future, which in turn leads to happiness.
Preach. Beautiful. Another thing too, if you're in a shitty environment, is never, I said this earlier tonight, never let shitty people make you a shitty person. Alright, that's it. I am a space guy on the internet. Dude, please go to Cleveland, I swear to God. Please.
I'll make that my future plans. I'll write it down in a calendar.
Hell yeah. Talk to your buddy. I got high hopes for you. I'm excited for you. Alright, Ruby.
You seem pretty chill, though.
Hell yeah, man. Same to you. You have a good night.
Okay.
Give it up for Ruby, everybody. No, that's a fake applause. I don't like that. Alright. I am podcasted out. Alright. This has been practically a podcast, and I am a guy who stubs his toe sometimes, and I tell people to move to Cleveland sometimes too. Okay, bye.